Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to talk about this Free Britney hashtag that has been going around all year, and whether or not I think Britney Spears should be free of her conservatorship, as most people believe that she should. Now, to give a summary of why she's experiencing all of this, if anybody needs a refresher, I doubt most people do, but I will just do it anyway. In 2007, Britney suffered a mental breakdown as a result of many different factors. Nobody has really read her medical report as far as the blogs and everyone online, myself included, running our mouths about her life. However, some of us do speculate that many different factors resulted in triggering her mental illness, from stress, pressures from work, pressures from paparazzi. I believe that contributed a lot. Public opinion, her family drama, just a lot of things. Okay, so she suffered a mental breakdown, and prior to her experiencing that mental breakdown, her life was simply crazy. If I can, I will include a clip of just a brief moment in her life around that time so that you can see what I'm talking about. And quite frankly, anybody that experiences this, the normal course would be a mental breakdown, because there's just no way anybody can function normally and successfully and thrive in this kind of environment, especially if they do not have a strong family relationship, with the closest members of their family, which Britney did not have. She was constantly in conflict with her parents. But if I can, I will include a clip here. Yes, I did not show her on purpose. I am not going to show someone going through a mental breakdown in my video. So after her mental breakdown, she was put on a psychiatric hold. That happened twice. The first time it happened, she was treated and released, but things did not get better with her health, and she was put on a 5150 psychiatric hold a second time. After that second psychiatric hold and things were looking really, really bad for her, that was when her dad, Jamie Spears, decided to become her conservator. So this conservatorship thing started after the second psychiatric hold. There was a reason for it, okay? And I truly believe that her life would have gone so much worse if her father had not stepped in and taken control of a lot of things. Let me go further and you will see where I'm coming from. So before her father took over the conservatorship of her person and her finances, because those are two separate things. Being the conservator of a person is basically you'll be in control of their lives and the decisions that they make in their daily lives. And then being the conservator of their finances, you will make their financial decisions for them, because they are incapable of making sound financial decisions. Jamie Spears is both for Britney. Before he became her conservator, Britney Spears was in terrible, terrible mental state. Even physically, the people around her, she was starting to use drugs, a lot of alcohol. She was constantly surrounded by the worst kinds of people you can find. I know that she is not going out to the streets to get all the drugs and alcohol by herself. It's people that are running these errands for her. And when you're a celebrity, and this happens with almost all celebrities that are in this kinds of situation, they always have those enablers around them that help them get stuff that they should not have, such as drugs. They always have enablers. The enablers know exactly what they're doing. They know how much damage they're causing, but they do not care. And she was surrounded by those kinds of enablers, and her life was just on a downward spiral. She was deep in debt. She was millions of dollars in debt. For a celebrity such as Britney Spears, that has had many hits and has made a lot of money, to be deep in debt is insane. But she was deep in debt and her life was just spiraling out of control. So her father stepped in, and this conservatorship of him over her started. Now, between 2007, when he became her conservator, and 2020, Britney Spears is no longer having the kind of mental breakdown that she was having prior to the conservatorship. She's no longer constantly in the public eye, being pulled every which way by the media. She's no longer being charged on the streets by paparazzi because her exposure has been greatly limited. She has better control of her life. She's in a better physical and mental state than she was prior to the conservatorship. And she is no longer in debt. Britney Spears went from being in debt to having approximately $60 million fortune. She has a lot of investments, which her father made sure that, her money is being invested. Her career is doing really well. Her Vegas residency was very successful. She was able to get back and focus on her work. And first of all, guys, let's just think about this for 1 second. I know there's a lot of people that want Britney to be free of this conservatorship. Britney herself wants more freedom from her conservatorship. However, if someone comes into your life when you're spiraling out of control, they take you out from being in debt to being worth $60 million. They take you to a mental state whereby you're no longer being under psychiatric hold and you have some level of control over your life. That is a big deal. That is not something to dismiss as being nothing. I know we all want to think that her father is just this big bad monster that's terrorizing her and ruining her life, but the fact of the matter is, I honestly believe that if her father had not stepped into the picture and taken complete control of his daughter's life and career the way that he has, I honestly don't think that Britney would be alive today, because she was just really going downhill very, very fast. And with the toxins in her body, to the external factors, all the negative external influences that are just coming towards her, she honestly, I don't think she would have made it by herself. Her mother was around. Her mother, I'm sure she loves her daughter and means well, but her mother did not take the reins of Britney's life the way that her father did and brought everything to a complete stop. Like, Jamie Spears brought the madness to a complete stop, and I believe he saved his daughter's life. Oh, and by madness, I mean her being chased by the paparazzi as if the world was coming to an end, and her being a target for the tabloids and the blogs and practically anyone that was looking to take a cheap shot. So basically, Jamie put her in a much better financial situation than she previously was, and her life is in a much better state now than it was prior to his taking control of her life.
Okay guys, are you ready to go outside and play? No. Are you kidding me? Guys, let's go, come on. Okay.
In the past year, her conservatorship has cost her approximately $1.2 million in fees. And, it costs money to have a conservatorship and have people manage your life and your finances. And out of that $1.2 million, Jamie Spears has taken home about $130,000 in a year. Guys, $130,000 in a year for managing a person's life and finances, their health, taking them from being in debt to being worth $60 million is nothing. $130,000 a year is nothing. If you were to hire a firm to do the exact same thing to help you manage basically your entire life, I guarantee you it will cost more than $130,000. And this is about the average salary for a lot of people. So what Jamie Spears is taking home is nothing compared to the work that he's done. For some reason, people are not seeing it. I understand that a lot of people would not want their lives and finances to be controlled, and they're kind of projecting a little bit of their own fears onto Britney's situation. And I'm sure they mean well because they like her, they like her music, they're big fans of hers, and they want her to have complete control of her life. But the fact of the matter is, if you really look at where Britney is today and other things surrounding her life, her personal life, you would see that Britney Spears is not in a position to be in complete control of her own life yet. As much as she wants to be in control, she's just not in that state yet, and let's take her kids, for instance. Britney does not have full custody of her kids. And as a matter of fact, the custody, the 50-50 unsupervised visitation that she had was reduced to 30% from 50%. And that had something to do with her father and one of her kids saying that her father was being not so nice to him. And Britney is not in a position yet to completely remove her father from her own life. So obviously, if her kids are with her, she will not be in a position to keep them completely away from her father because her father is her conservator. So it makes sense that if she does not have that much control yet over the circumstances surrounding her own life, then she cannot have custody of her kids yet. So if someone is not in the mental state to have full custody of their own kids, and recently she had to go back to the hospital because her medication wasn't working properly anymore and they had to adjust her medication, all of these things should clue you in to the fact that she is just not in the mental state that people want to believe that she is in. She's still working through it. She's getting better, but she's not quite there yet. If Britney could help herself, she would have helped herself in 2007, 2008 when she was going through this. But when someone is going through a difficult time, especially when it relates to mental health, that person is not in a position to make sound personal and financial decisions. There are way too many vultures and leashes in the entertainment industry for the healthy people that are being taken advantage of. So imagine if you're unhealthy and you're struggling in many aspects of your life like Britney was, and do not have the support of your family like say the Kardashians have, and you're out there on your own and you're just surrounded by so-called professionals that are equipped to help you. You know very well they don't run nonprofit organizations. They're out to get your money, and that is that. So I think that honestly, Jamie Spears really helps Britney a lot. It's something that a lot of people are not acknowledging. Him taking home $130,000 a year That is nothing. That is nothing compared to the work that he has done. And I don't think he may not be the nicest person or the most polite person, but if not for his toughness and his ability to say, okay, you know what, I am the best person to take care of my daughter, she would not be where she is right now, worth $60 million. Do you guys have any idea how much work it takes to take someone from being in death to being worth $60 million? It doesn't matter if you're a celebrity and you have connections and previous like work and reputation and all of that. It is not an easy thing. If it was, there would be no broke celebrities out there. It is very difficult, and I think he's doing a good job. He may not be the nicest person, and he probably does not get along with Britney very well, but I feel like he is this kind of a dad that's like, okay, you know what, enough is enough. I've had enough of this. I am going to take control of this and put her in a better position than, what all these so-called professionals have been doing. Bessemer Trust, I believe that's their name, is a co-conservator of Britney Spears. So Jamie Spears he does not have the ultimate power. They are co-conservators, so they work together to assist Britney. And this trust was suggested by the courts to assist Britney, but they did not release her from her conservatorship the way she wanted to be released, because they can see that Jamie Spears is doing a good job so far. He is really helping his daughter in a way that no one else has helped her before. You guys, don't forget that he was there when Britney first started in her career, and he really guided her to her initial success. And then when she got bigger and she got more control and things started to go downhill, he stepped back in and took control again and has pulled her back up again. So I'm not sure where all of this stuff is coming from about him being just this terrible person. As far as anyone can see, as far as the courts can see, he is doing a good job, and he's doing the best job that any of these other professionals have done, and that is why the courts are not taking him off of being her conservator. Because as soon as he's gone, as soon as he's out of the picture, all of these other people will begin to creep back in, like that paparazzi boyfriend that she had, and just a bunch of leeches and so-called girlfriends that don't really look out for her. They'll begin to creep back into the picture, and things might just go back downhill. Even her mother, I honestly do not trust that her mother would be the right person to help her up, because her mother was there when she was going through all of this. Sure, her mother was worried to death and wanted everything to stop and for her daughter to be perfectly fine again, but what did she really do, and how did she really help Britney? She didn't. If not for Jamie's conservatorship, I do not think that Britney Spears will be where she is, will be as successful and as healthy today as she is right now. And I just think that people should see things logically instead of from an emotional perspective. They need to just look at things from a logical perspective. So look at things from a logical perspective and ask yourself, is her finances better now than it was before the conservatorship? Is her health better now than it was before the conservatorship? The answer to that is yes, she's a lot better now. So if Jamie Spears is doing a good job, why take him off as her conservator? If she's not quite there yet, if she's still having to go back to the hospital to adjust her medication because her medication isn't working. Mental illness is not something that you experience today and in a couple of months it just disappears. It takes time. You have to almost relearn how to do a lot of things as far as your mental health goes, how to think about a lot of things, how to interpret a lot of things, how to handle a lot of things. So until that's done, I don't think that she's ready to be in complete control of her life and finances, and her dad is doing a good job. He's not siphoning money, he's not wasting money, he's helping her build her life back up. And I think people should just calm down, step away a little bit from their emotions and just accept that Jamie Spears is doing a good job. And they need to just let the man help his daughter the way that he knows how. And so far, it is working. And I know that Britney Spears' son said some things about his dad, that his grandfather, I mean. He said he did not like his grandfather. His grandfather is not a nice person. And I understand why that would be alarming to people. But at the end of the day, in addition to what he says, you have to look at other things besides just the words of the child. Because he also said, the boy also said that Kevin Federline is the best. He does not care. He just lets him do whatever. That is not a good thing, but obviously people won't take it that way. But he should be more involved. It doesn't seem like he's very much involved. For his dad to say that Kevin Federline is Jesus Christ, he's perfect, he doesn't care, that is not a good thing. It's not. He should be more involved. Who knows? Maybe Jamie Spears was a little too involved in his grandparents and in his grandkids' life, and that's what they don't like about him. I don't know for a fact what happened between them, so I don't want to speak to that. But in my perspective, in my opinion, I think that Britney Spears definitely still needs her father as her conservator. And yes, it's good that she has Bessemer Trust and other professionals to help her, but sometimes your actual immediate family knows best, and they care about you more than any other professional out there. And so far, he is doing a good job. The courts can see that he's doing a good job, and he is pulling Britney out of the personal, emotional, mental, and financial pits that Britney was in 2007 and 2008. That is something that nobody can deny. So let's all just calm down and let the man do his work and help his daughter. It's annoying, yes, but it's temporary, and the courts can see it. They know when the right time is to have him step away. That's all I have to say on this. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.